Right, this is showing how to create the FlashBack Synth by Calvin Harris. It's quite a complicated synth, well, synths actually. So bear with me, since this video is probably going to be quite long. So, inside a combinator, you want to create a line mixer. Just keep it like that. And then create a NNXT sampler. You want to click this button here, and you want to see this little load icon here. You want to click that, and what we're looking for is Grand Piano W. There it is. So that's the setting you want. It's under the piano. It'll be already built into your Reason Factory sound bank. And then just click OK, and then it loads it up. Right, we're just going to adjust a few things in here. For the frequency, you want to put it all the way up. For the resonance, you want to put it to 26. Leave the attack where it is. Bring the decay all the way up. Bring the release to about 20. And then bring the decay all the way up again. Yep. Right. So right click on the NNXT and create an equalizer. You want to enable the low cut, the low shelf, param 1, and then the high shelf as well. For the low shelf frequency, you want to bring it to 224.6 Hertz. Bring the gain to minus 2.3 decibels. Leave the Q where it is. For param 1, bring the frequency to about 2.13 kHz. Bring the gain to 4 decibels and bring the Q down to 3.1. For the high shelf, bring the frequency to 3.981 kHz. Bring the gain to 3.4 decibels and bring the Q all the way down. So that's it for the equalizer. And then right click on the equalizer and create a stereo well, not another equalizer. You want to create a stereo imager. For the low width, you want to bring it to 12. You want to leave the X over frequency where it is. And for the high width, you want to bring it to minus 24. Leave it on the normal setting. That should be it for the stereo imager. And then create a RV7000 advanced reverb. Bring the decay down to 73. Bring the HF damp up to 37. Leave the high EQ where it is, but bring the dry wet to 12. Right, that should be the actual first synth we're creating. So we're gonna create a 4 now. So you want to right click in there, but hold the shift button and create a 4. You want to click show programmer, right click and initialize a patch, and then you want to click tab on your keyboard. But see where it says the audio output for the left. I'm going to bring it all the way up to the line mixer left, and the right should do it automatically. So that's it. Right. For the 4, you want 3 oscillators. First one is going to be a multi-oscillator. The second one, an analog oscillator. And the third one, a phase modulation. And then you want to enable all 3. And you want to bring the detune mode of the multi-oscillator to the last setting, it's the octave setting, and bring the detune amount just up a tiny bit to 26. For the analog oscillator, you want to bring the octave down from 4 to 3, and that should be it for the analog. For the phase modulation, you want to enable the second wave. The first wave is a sawtooth, but you want to enable the second wave and just bring it up to a sawtooth as well. And again, same with the analog oscillator, bring the octave down. For the lower pass ladder filter, you want to bring the envelope to 81. You also want to enable a bit of portamento in this synth, but don't leave it on 40 and bring it down to about 12. For the filter envelope, bring the decay, the sustain and the release all the way up. For the amp envelope, bring the decay to 22.3 seconds, bring the sustain all the way up, and bring the release up to 29.7 milliseconds. And then you're going to right click and create a vocoder. Bring it to equalizer setting and bring it down to 4 band. And then for the first band, you want to just lift the band up a bit. That's it for the vocoder. And then create an equalizer. Enable the low cut, the low shelf, param 1 and the high shelf. For the low shelf, bring the frequency to 177.8 Hz. Bring the gain to 1.7 and leave the Q where it is. For param 1, bring the frequency to 205.3 Hz. Bring the gain down to minus 8.6 decibels and bring the Q to 4.1. For the high shelf, bring the frequency up a tiny little bit to about 6.27 kHz. Bring the gain to 2.3 decibels and bring up the Q to 0.72. And then you want to right click and create a screen for distortion. And right click on it as well and initialize the patch. You're going to turn the damage off because that's not we're not going to use it for that. We're going to use it as an equalizer. So you want to enable the cut and bring the low to 7 and bring the high up to about 2. That should be it for the actual screen 4. And then you want to create another reverb, the RV7000. Bring the decay to 65. Leave the HF damp where it is. And bring the high EQ up to 24. And bring the dry wet down to 20. And I think that's it for the synth. So let's see how it sounds. You might want to mess around with the levels of the actual 2 synths. So what I like to do in this particular synth, bring the channel 1 level down, which is like the piano, to about 90 and bring the channel 2 level down to about 35. That should make it sound pretty good. I think a bit chorus will do well with this synth, so enable the chorus on the 4 itself. Let's bring the decay to 7.9 milliseconds. Bring up the feedback to 20. Bring the rate to 0.28 Hz. Bring the amount down to 20. And dry wet to 16. See how that sounds. Right. So thanks for watching this tutorial. If it's helped you, please like the video and subscribe to my YouTube page.